Nervous coordination. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to know the following. 1. The nervous system. 2. The central nervous system. 3. The brain, components, descriptions and functions. 4. Structure and functions of the spinal cord. The nervous system. The nervous system and the hormonal system work together to coordinate various biological activities in multicellular animals. The fundamental structural unit of the nervous system is the neuron, also known as a nerve cell. Neurons consist of a dense cell body and protoplasmic processes called nerve fibers. When bundled together, these nerve fibers form a nerve. The main mode of information transfer in the nervous system is through electrical impulses known as nerve impulses, which travel along the nerve fibers. In complex animals, the nervous system comprises the following components. 1. The central processing region. This refers to the brain, which plays a crucial role in processing and integrating information. 2. Nerves carrying impulses to the brain. These are responsible for transmitting sensory information from receptors to the brain. 3. Nerves carrying information from the brain. These nerves transmit motor impulses from the brain to the effectors, such as muscles and glands. Sensory receptors detect stimuli from both the external and internal environments, acting as information collectors. They are often found in specialized sense organs. Effectors include muscles and glands, which respond to nerve impulses from the brain by carrying out various actions, such as muscle contractions, enzyme production, and hormone secretion. The nervous system is divided into two main parts: the central nervous system, CNS, and the peripheral nervous system, PNS. Central nervous system, CNS. The CNS consists of the brain and the spinal cord, both of which are protected by the skull and the vertebral column, respectively. The CNS receives a continuous input of impulses, which keep it informed about changes in the animal's internal and external environment. Impulses transmitted from receptors to the CNS along sensory nerves are known as sensory impulses. On the other hand, impulses from the CNS to effectors are called motor impulses, as they travel along motor nerves. The brain. The brain is an organ weighing, on average, between 1.2 and 1.4 kilograms in adults. It is composed of thousands of neurons enclosed within the skull, and covered by three layered membranes called meninges, consisting of the outer dura, middle arachnoid, and inner pia mater. The spaces between these layers, known as ventricles, are filled with cerebrospinal fluid. The brain consumes approximately 25% of the body's oxygen supply. The brain is divided into three main regions: the forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain. The forebrain is the largest and most prominent part of the brain, associated with intelligence and speech. It consists of three major components: the cerebrum, thalamus, and hypothalamus. Cerebrum. The cerebrum is divided into two halves called cerebral hemispheres, which are connected by a bundle of fibers known as the corpus callosum. Each hemisphere is further divided into four distinct lobes: frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital. The outer layer of the cerebrum, called the cerebral cortex, is highly convoluted to increase surface area. The cerebrum performs various functions, including the control of voluntary actions, reception and processing of sensory information, and the seat of consciousness, memory, learning, intelligence, reasoning, and judgment. Thalamus. The thalamus, which has an oval shape, acts as a relay center. It receives sensory information from lower parts of the brain, and the spinal cord integrates it and relays it to the relevant regions of the cerebral cortex. The thalamus also plays a role in experiencing sensations. Hypothalamus. Located below the thalamus, the hypothalamus controls the pituitary gland and is mainly involved in maintaining body homeostasis, such as regulating body temperature, water balance, and blood pressure. Additionally, the hypothalamus influences emotions, e.g., anger, fright, joy, and controls functions like appetite and speech. Midbrain. The midbrain connects the forebrain and the hindbrain. It consists of the optic lobes and the pineal body. The midbrain is responsible for controlling reflexes associated with sight and hearing, and acts as a link between the forebrain and hindbrain. Hindbrain. The hindbrain comprises three parts: the cerebellum, pons viralis, and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum. The cerebellum consists of a central part connected to two lateral parts through the pons viralis. The lateral parts are called cerebellar hemispheres. The cerebellum plays a crucial role in controlling body posture and coordinating muscular movements to maintain balance. Medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is the posterior end of the brain, extending into the spinal cord. Unlike the cerebellum and cerebrum, it has an inner region of gray matter and an outer region of white matter. The medulla oblongata controls involuntary actions, such as yawning and blinking of the eye. It also regulates vital functions involved in respiration, heart rate, digestion, and blood pressure, by controlling the dilation and constriction of blood vessels. The spinal cord, structure and functions. The spinal cord consists of thousands of neurons that run along the neural canal at the back of vertebrates. It is enveloped by three layered membranes called meninges. Within the spinal cord, there is a narrow canal called the spinal canal, which contains cerebrospinal fluid. A transverse section of the spinal cord reveals a grayish region known as the gray matter, surrounded by a lighter region called the white matter. The gray matter consists of the cell bodies of neurons in the spinal cord, while the white matter comprises the nerve fibers of these neurons. Some of these fibers run along the spinal cord to connect with the brain, while others form spinal nerves. The spinal cord functions in 1. Coordinating simple reflex actions, such as the knee-jerk reflex, and automatic reflexes like sweating. 2. Transmitting impulses from the body to the brain and vice versa, allowing for communication and response between these two entities. Evaluation. 1. Differentiate between the forebrain and hindbrain. 2. Define meninges. 3. State three functions of cerebrospinal fluid. 4. Describe the structure and functions of the brain. 5. Differentiate between the dorsal root and ventral root.